Hello everyone, I'm taking you today with me on my daily walk, and I know that a few of you guys were wondering if I could share a little bit more of my story, how I dealt with this whole journey. So let's talk about the suffering and how it can shift into deeply falling in love with life, with the self, and embodying a whole new way of living and a whole new way of being from unity consciousness. Everyone who's watching this video and is on a twin flame journey knows about the suffering, about feeling empty, about crying on the floor, about wanting to die, like your heart is ripped out of your body. All the dramatic, painful feelings. Because the soul recognized itself through someone else, through your twin flame, through the reflection of you. So you got activated. And nothing can ever be the same again in your whole life. And when you met this person, it felt like coming home, like you've known them before or forever. You feel such a warm love, maybe peace, and like you found your lifetime partner. And then suddenly they disappear. They start to say things that doesn't make sense at all. They are denying you, rejecting you, breaking up with you, whatever. And the mind got so attached to the other person because the mind thinks everything that you have experienced with them is because of them, because you need them for that. But actually it was just a reflection of your essence, of your higher self, your soul, of what you truly are. From that moment on, from when the activation happened, when you met each other, even when it was just online, it doesn't matter, because of the fact that the soul saw itself through the eyes of the other, it remembered again. And that's why it feels like your life can never be the same again. Your soul wants to speak through you. It wants to show you the way. It wants you to guide you into the truth of what you are, into abundance, into unconditional love, into infinity, into freedom. And that's a whole process. It took me 2 years when I started to trust myself more, because in the beginning I was just approaching the circumstances with my divine masculine from the mental knowledge that I had about relationship dynamics, from spirituality or psychology. I wasn't listening to my soul. Sometimes I was a little bit, but I got so blinded by the fear, by the obsession, by the mind that constantly sees and creates separation. And the activation is an invitation into letting go of all the mind stuff, of all the old programming. Because when we are approaching life from the minds, from the ego, we are doing this from a place of social conditioning, from just mental knowledge and not from wisdom, from the soul, from past experiences, from agendas, from expectations from society, everything that we've learned at school. And all these things are being asked from that moment on to not let it any longer influence your life, to not take them as the ultimate truth, as your guide. You are your own guide. Your soul is the only guru, the only guide you need. And it keeps on hurting so much when we are trying to approach this whole awakening from the old programming, from the things that we have known, always known before in our lives. But it's impossible to keep on living that way. You are activated. Your soul wants to feel, wants to be felt, wants to shine its lights. And we are, as humans, we are so used to wanting to have knowledge by reading a book, taking a course, reading online blog posts, listening to podcasts, watching these kind of videos, as if the answers are in the knowledge. So what I did was, of course, constantly, I think the first few months after I realized, or I just came to the concept of twin flames, I was obsessed with getting to know everything about twin flames, constantly watching videos about it, listening to podcasts. I ordered a book. So what was I doing? I was still feeding my mind with knowledge. I wasn't feeding my soul. I wasn't nourishing my soul. I wasn't setting inner peace as a priority. I wasn't doing things that light up my heart. So then I tried to apply everything that I learned mentally about twin flames to my journey, to the circumstances, and there's a lot of misinformation out there about twin flames, like a lot. So at the beginning I was only focused on the connection and on the relationship and the divine masculine that has to shift and the divine feminine and being each other's perfect counterparts. But I wasn't reading or coming across things about duality, about unity consciousness, about separation consciousness, about 3D and a 5D, and how divine feminine is the leader in the energy, has always been the leader, and when she or he starts to claim this and starts to take responsibility of this leadership, everything can change. But I was still, of course, focused on the 3D, on my other self, on what he was doing and saying. That, of course, kept me in suffering and constantly getting triggered and seeing my divine masculine as my master. So I was placing him above myself, seeing him as much more important, because I thought that I needed him to heal, or so he could show me my wounds and whatever. So in general, I was still so much focused on him, on just the reflection of me in the mirror. But then after 2 years, a lot of things happened and I got triggered again, like maybe a few days after I first spontaneously started to feel this inner union, this unity consciousness for a few hours. And my kundalini was rising again. It was super intense, but I also internally just knew, so this is the truth about this journey. I just feel something shifting in my energy, and that's the power of it. So when he triggered me again by sending me a message in which he told me that he wanted to date someone else and that he from now on wanted to stop the contact between us, a whole bunch of things that hurt me as hell. And now I can laugh about it, so crazy, but I needed that. It made me so angry, and I've had enough of the suffering and the pain. And from that moment on, I internally decided, this is my time. I'm not letting him influence how I'm feeling any longer. I'm done with it. So I got myself a twin flame coach, and I started to detox, and I started to let go of all of the twin flame things I just mentally knew, the whole concept. I started to let go of him, everything that happened. I removed all the distractions from the 3D, and immediately after a few weeks, so much peace started to rise. So much clarity, so much just wisdom from within. I started to understand, that's how my coach liked to call it. I love how she put words on it. So I started to understand this journey. I didn't need more information. I just needed more peace. I just needed more being in my body, enjoying my daily life, being grateful for what I have right now. My mind was getting more quiet and quiet, so my soul could speak through me again in a subtle way, but I could feel her or he. It's not gender related. I could feel it. This journey can be very simple if you are not attached anymore to your mind, to your knowledge, to the 3D person and circumstances. And if you really let yourself allowing and let yourself enjoy where you are, being in the present moment, doing things that make you happy, that light you up. So I started to trust myself. Everything became so clearly. All of the distortions and the overload of information about this journey, I dropped it. I just only wanted to be loyal to me, believe in me, not in some concepts or stories or other knowledge. I just recognized it was always within me. I am wisdom. You are wisdom. And the more you don't depend any longer on other persons, on concepts, on information, the more easier it gets to love yourself, to trust yourself. Because you free yourself from all the distractions that you think you need to feel validated, to have control over certain things. Even at the end, you won't need me anymore. You won't need my online course that is coming, or my the online sessions you can book with me, my videos. I'm just here to guide you and to show you through my experience what helped me. With just daily, almost simple tools, so that you can find the guide within. I'm just here to help you find your own guides, so you can depend on that. Because depending on things outside of yourself and needing from a place of lack, needing to know things about this journey because you don't feel validated enough, you don't feel enough, is still, in a way, you can call it separation, pushing, chasing energy. This is also you not being in balance and you pushing towards your reflection, towards the 3D, your other self. Your other self just wants you to be happy, just wants you to take back your power from within and to start living from within, from the inside out rather than from the outside in. You've got all the power, all the wisdom you need. Keep it simple. Wisdom is simplicity. Wisdom feels free. Wisdom feels light, feels like coming home, feels peaceful. So my relationship towards my emotions and my thoughts started to change. And I also started to embody and understand this was never about him or a potential outcome of a romantic relationship. No, it was about becoming the new human, about becoming the way shower, about helping to lift up the human consciousness, to rise it. And we all do this just by embodying, by being who we truly are, by living our soul purpose. I will make another video about soul purpose, by the way. So this journey doesn't stop the moment you are in physical union. Yes, you can come into physical union, but you are still ascending. You are still in this ascension journey. You are still invited in remembering who you are in every aspect of this duality, of this human experience. And to me, that's such a liberation that it never stops. It's the never-ending remembering of what you are through the experiences you are having, through the people you are meeting. You are the one. And the mind will never fully understand what this means, because the mind is just a program. It's a hard drive. It's running on knowledge, on conditioning, on past experiences, on duality, separation, control. But you have always been free. And the more you recognize yourself as what you truly are, and with recognizing, I don't mean just from the perspective of the mind, just by knowing mentally, but like being, like experiencing it, embodying it, understanding it, the more your other self will start to recognize you too. That's just obvious in the end. The soul is not attached. The soul is free. The soul knows. The soul trusts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for staying with me, for leaving comments, for giving thumbs up, for subscribing, for just being here, maybe for booking a one-on-one session. There are still spots available for this month, for December. And I will be back soon with another video. Have a lovely day or evening.